my state and the country has been through a lot of machinations, divisiveness, and heartburn and heartfelt suffering on the part of many people for the lack of immigration reform in this country. 1070 is not going to ease that heartbreak. It is not going to clarify the law. And as long as we do not understand that this is a national policy we are dealing with that we must enact, laws like 1070 will continue to sprout up, not only as wedge issues, but as very feeble attempts on the part of states to usurp what is a federal role and a constitutionally protected federal role.
SB 1070 is preempted by the U.S. Constitution and by federal law. The framers gave authority to the Congress to establish laws about immigration. We wouldn't permit Arizona to have its own foreign policy, and we can't allow Arizona to have its own immigration laws. We can't have a patchwork of 50 different laws, a situation where a family from Washington, for example, would have to bring their passports to go and visit the Grand Canyon.
We have just seen in Florida what can happen if we allow these kinds of laws to go unchecked. So I'm here today to lend support to this, to thank my colleagues for being a part of it, and to say to those who may be listening in, to remember the words of Martin Luther King Jr. when he said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I do believe that, as we say in rural vernacular, it may be somebody else's number now, but my number is soon to come up if we don't check these laws. So I want to thank you all so much, Raul, for putting this together.
We have to admit that the system is broken, and it shouldn't take people 10 years and attorney's fees to become an American citizen. So when we look at laws like this that will take people out of a group and condemn them, many of which who have made attempts to follow the process, that is wrong.
This is about a dream in America. It's about fulfilling the dream for all Americans, regardless of how you look or how you speak, and being given that opportunity to fulfill your God-given rights, to enjoy the rights granted to you under the Constitution.
It's what happens to Latino communities throughout this nation. If states on their own start passing such laws, which we know that they're doing as I speak, and they are being challenged in court, the fact that Congresswoman Loughran has already pointed out, our communities will be subjected to profiling. There is no doubt that that is going to be the outcome, because it's already happening in those jurisdictions that have attempted to enforce laws of this type. This is incredibly important to our communities. This is not the first, and it won't be the last time, that minority communities will seek justice from the third branch of government, the judicial branch. And we stand there again before the bar of justice and simply say to do the right thing. The last thing is simply this. We're wasting all our time and energy here today in the states of Arizona and Alabama and such in seeking a solution and a remedy that does not exist individually by each state. All our energies, all our attention here in Congress should be to formulate comprehensive immigration reform. Therein lies the answer. It's simple, it's there, and Congress needs to do its work. In the meantime, we will resist and we will defeat efforts by individual states that truly discriminate and don't promote the best interests of this country.
We understand that we live in a nation that we all are different. In one case, a hoodie equals suspicion. In another case, it is the tanness of your skin, or the coloration of your skin, or maybe the configuration of your face. And so when a family gets in the car in Arizona, Tucson, Phoenix, and other beautiful places, and drives for a Sunday service, a mass, a picnic, you've now vested innocently in law enforcement officers, who all of us respect, the right to be judge and jury. For they will come upon a car and they will have to make an immediate decision on visibleness that this individual warrants being questioned about their papers. So I am here to say that there was nothing else that we could do but to fight this kind of contamination of the Constitution.
I have seen firsthand how immigrant profiling laws such as SB 1070 can instill fears, misinformation that will drive this country in the wrong direction. That drives this country to spend money where monies are scarce and to send resources, police resources, where they should be upholding the law rather than enforcing laws that are ill-founded and ill-conceived. As Immigration Task Force Chair of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, just want to let you know that it's not only brown faces and black faces, it's also Asian faces that are involved in this.
There is no question that SB 1070 is misguided and unconstitutional. It seems to me that in America, the U.S. Constitution guarantees that all people, no matter where they were born or what color skin they have, all people have the same basic rights. Therefore, SB 1070 would legally sanction discriminatory behavior. Today, we urge the Supreme Court to affirm the Ninth Circuit's decision and do what's right. It's the right thing to do. Simply stated, state-based immigration policy.
In this case, the state of Arizona passed a law that fundamentally legitimizes racial profiling. Law enforcement was ordered to stop people and, based on their appearance or their speech, demand documents to prove that they are an American citizen. And this goes so fundamentally against everything we believe in, everything that we want to be. It's presuming guilt because of skin color. And we've seen time and time again the dangers of doing that, most recently in Florida. Racial profiling not only fails to improve security or reduce crime, it really violates, as many speakers have said today, our Constitution. We need comprehensive immigration reform, and I think everyone is saying that. And I hope this Congress takes that up finally. I think it's the right thing to do. But just because we don't have comprehensive immigration reform yet, it does not give states like Arizona the right to take the law into their own hands. Because frustration with federal immigration law is no excuse to enact laws that violate our Constitution. I hope the Supreme Court will reject this law.